Yeah, good evening, everyone. Maz is okay here. Just for a quick update for many of us as regards to what is happening in the southeast Nigeria. Now, if you're still awake and you are joining me, I would want to know where you are joining me from, as it's customary to my presentations. And this evening, as the topic suggests, I want to look at the Southeast Governors meeting yesterday in Enugu. Obviously ought to be in the Lion House in Enugu, but that meeting was done virtually. So, as the meeting was done virtually, after the meeting, they reached out. They had a conclusion and issued a communique afterwards. And the communique is regarding the Southeast security outfit. Now, before I dive into the Southeast security outfit, I must note that, um, for over 1 year now, we've been going around in the circle. One has engaged privately to give them a nudge. One has engaged the stakeholders as to the need and how paramount it is that we as a people must have something, obviously, like what Anambra State has done. We do not have that collectively in the whole Igbo nation. And that is the whole essence. I'm being careful here not to get angry because I hate to keep repeating one thing after another, that they go to this meeting and they keep repeating the same thing. You've gone to the meeting when was that? That was actually the first time they spoke about the Southeast security outfit was in July 2019. And we are back in July now. I think about July 19th or July 29th, whichever date it is, today, or rather this week, is the end of July. So however you look at it, this is 1 year. Okay, so 1 year has gone, and we are still talking about the Southeast security outfit. I think in Igbo, there is something we say, Madi Disiki Hakolia, and it's something that we must as a people avoid. We cannot be talking about the same thing over and over and over again. Let me not do this even is not for comparative analysis, just to analyze what the Yorubas or what others have done. I had an argument today with someone who said, well, Maz, why do you keep knocking your people? What has the Niger Delta people done? I said, well, that is their own cup of tea. They feel that they do not need it. Okay, so, but it is something we have been discussing for the last couple of months. And it gets to a point that someone will begin to say, what is actually happening? Now, let me get back to the meeting yesterday. The governors of Southeast geopolitical region, as we all know them, as what they call the Southeast Governors Forum, they met again virtually, and they expressed their readiness to unveil a security outfit for the region. And I say, stop it there. That's your headline. We've read this same thing for more than 6 times. Every time you meet in Enugu, every time you tell us you're going to unveil it, I mean, like Osadere's music once said, "Ne nagu, ne nagu." When we come out, we haven't seen the lion. Again, you tell us, Nenagu. We'll come out, we haven't seen the lion. It will come to a point you shout again, Nenagu, and every one of us will sit at home because we all say that's, it's in your nature. It basically you have done, you've not been doing the things we expected. So they said, see, the one that got me is that they said the name of the security outfit will be made known to the public during the Southeast Governors Forum next meeting. This sounds like something they said before when we had people hiding in trucks coming to the Southeast. This sounded like what they said. We are going to unveil it soon. Now the question is how soon? Even the next meeting, we don't even know when. Because the next meeting, we don't know. It's still going to be virtual. Are you guys going to meet in Enugu? We don't know. Again, said that the necessary arrangement for the takeoff of the outfit are on course. Bikon, what are you arranging? My problem with the whole thing is, unu ga na ebe unu na-akwa akwa, oyi atụgbuolu ndị unu na-akwa ya bụ akwa. Unu ga na ebe unu na-egbute ọgwụ, ọ ya etigbuo onye ga-aṅụ ọgwụ unu n'afọ. It is, it is really sad, actually. It is really sad. You guys need to wake up. You have to wake up and address the Southeast security issues. Yes, I am aware there are things you keep doing, you're doing, but if we don't want to go into this regional security outfit, then bin it. But for the last 1 year, you cannot come and look us into the eyes and keep repeating the same thing all the time. I have refrained from talking about it, but the only reason why I'm speaking about it today is because yesterday, after the virtual meeting you guys had, you came out and you told us the same thing that we've been hearing. We want to hear something else. Granted, Southeast remains the safest part of Nigeria today. Granted, I agree. But nothing stops us from going a top higher. Nothing stops us from going a top notch higher. Yes, Southeast remains the safest place, Anambra being the safest anyway in the whole of the Southeast. A lot is being done. Some of them we know. Some of them are not the things that that could be said on air. Having said that, but when it comes to regional security outfit, it was a promise made, and that promise must be fulfilled. There is no but, there is no if, but it is a must. You must have to, get that done. Now, yesterday, after that meeting, briefing journalists yesterday, after they had the virtual meeting, basically with other Igbo leaders, the chairman of the forum in the person of the Ebonyi state governor, that is what's it called again, David Umahi, basically said that they are going to unveil the Southeastern outfit soon. Dave Umahi made, or rather issued this statement through his own Commissioner for Justice, Dave Umahi said that commissioners now, not one, commissioners of justices, or rather commissioners of justice in the different southeastern states would finalize a draft bill for passage into law by each state of assembly to give a legal backing to this, to the security outfit. Now it comes down to the same thing I've been saying, because that's what I don't understand. Is this the same thing that I have personally I've seen the document, and I keep asking, why can't we It wouldn't take us maximum 1 week to 2 weeks to debate and to pass this. We saw when Amatekun was done. Within 2 weeks, the 6 states of the Southwest had Amatekun dusted. I'm beginning to get headache to think about something that with COVID, no one is going anywhere. For Christ's sake, that document is only a couple of pages. Give me the documents in 2 hours. I'll review it. I can only, if I'm a member of Enugu State House of Assembly or Anambra or Imo or Ebonyi or Abia, I can give you my vote virtually. That let us get these things done. Again, like I said, I don't want to think or insinuate anything. Unless you want to push us to the street, to actually push, to march on the street before you guys will do the needful. Because you can do the needful. There is nothing stopping you. So after the meeting yesterday, they were briefing journalists, and obviously, again, you can't brief people and you're repeating the same thing you have said over and over and over. Dave Umahi, in that briefing, said that he's commending the president for the second Niger bridge, that it would be completed and handed over in 2020. And I wouldn't say anything, but I have a bet with Ajure, the guy that's one of the spokespersons to the president. I had a bet with him last week on Twitter, because I read a report where the House of Assembly said, National Assembly said that the bridge wouldn't be ready in 2020, and I tweeted and tagged Ajure, and he came back and said that they are sticking by their words that by 2020 the second Niger bridge will be ready. I said, okay. It remains to be seen. So let's see. Because I don't know why at every point in time we keep talking about the second Niger bridge as if it is only the Igbos that are going to use it. So if the Nigerian government doesn't want to do the bridge, for me, let them stick it in their orifice. Who cares? Again, yesterday, he reaffirmed what I said before regarding the Enugu International Airport, that the Enugu International Airport will be ready. That hasn't changed unless something else changes. And as I promised my viewers, I'm still working on the second Niger bridge, Enugu International Airport, the full update where I would have what they are doing. Now, I must report to us that since the last 2 weeks, works has really picked up. What they are doing at the Enugu International Airport has picked up. They are almost done with the skeletal. When I say the skeletal, well, they finished the block work. They have the roof now over in the as of last week, they were plastering the what's it called again? The clinic at the airport, which is when you drive into the airport, it's on your left. It's its work has started going on. The perimeter fencing is still ongoing. One of the things we have, or one of the problems we had in Enugu International Airport, is flooding. And in Nigerian parlance, what we call the gutters, which is the water channels, is still ongoing. Work is ongoing. So the runway, I haven't been able to get into the runway since the last 2 weeks, or rather we haven't been able to do that, but we are working to get into the runway and find out if anything has changed. If anything has changed, we will know. We will see that and we will report it. Okay, so when they were talking about commending President Muhammadu Buhari on the second Niger bridge at which the speed, I said, listen, honestly, how long now? Is a bridge that was started by Jonathan. I mean, that is the only thing that the Igbo nation, every time anyone that comes in uses that as a bait to get vote. And it breaks the heart. But again, it's get no gainsaying here to say that even at that, Buhari has kept faith. In a meeting that ICOHA, that is the DSP, joined last 2 weeks, and I asked him a personal question. Some of you must have watched it on this channel. I asked him because he mentioned that during the 2003 campaign, Obasanjo came to the southeast and campaigned and promised that he's going to make Enugu International, upgrade Enugu International Airport, and that that Obasanjo did something, but he didn't say what. And eventually, I brought him back and I asked that question. And Ike Kuremadu said, the video is still there on my channel. He said that they met Obasanjo, because I've heard that story before, that they met Obasanjo. Obasanjo told them he's going to not build the Enugu International Airport, mark this, not build. But it was a question of authorization, that he would authorize the Enugu International Airport for an upgrade to be an international airport. And afterwards, he didn't. They met him after the election, once he had won the election, and he told them that, oh no, it was an election gimmick. So that what am I trying to drive at? If Obasanjo could do that in 2003, that meant the second Niger bridge in his first term, second term, even Yaradua's time, was a gimmick. So it was a political gimmick. And this is one thing that, politicians shamelessly, they all lie and they say these things, and, nothing basically happened, because they know that the people are all powerless. Nothing happens. So again, in the meeting yesterday, Umahi expressed optimism that the two major projects will be completed as scheduled. Well, again, my daily battle with the Enugu International Airport still stands, where every single day one, basically counts down for them regarding that Enugu International Airport. Therefore, as I keep reading the aviation every single day, I pray that our heart will not be broken for the third time, because they have done it for the first time, they've done it the second time. Remember, we once heard that Enugu International Airport will be opened December last year. Have you all forgotten? Because if you forget, I don't, because I've been on this campaign. In 3 weeks' time, it will be 1 year. 1 freaking year that I have dedicated my time, my resources to campaign on Enugu International Airport. Okay, so you can see, if everyone forgets about what is happening at the Enugu International Airport, I won't, because here you have it on the screen, is my campaign with two Igbo organizations, the Igbo Renaissance Forum and Igbo Initiative, that I am the president of. And this is, when we talk about lack of infrastructural development in the South, not many of us would understand what it means not to have infrastructures by the federal government, and the inhibitions of these infrastructures within the region by orchestrated constitution that is preventing some of these things under the guise of exclusive list. And because of that exclusive list, that's why we are where we are. So people, as you are watching this video today, being the 27th of July 2020, this is the countdown. My question and our question is, we hope that our hopes wouldn't be dashed again. If our hopes are dashed again, it's going to be the third time. They dashed our hope of using that airport in December 2019. They dashed our hope in using that airport in April 2020. So if they do, I can only say again, sorry. I can only say that. So how long is it going to take us? At one, in one hand, we are struggling and waiting on the federal government to do the needful on the Enugu International Airport. On the other hand, we are waiting on the governors. Now, my anger is gone beyond the governors. Yes, it would be easier for us to say, okay, the governors are not doing right if the state assemblies, the legislators, if they had debated the bills, signed the bills, pushed it to the executive for appendage of their signature, then that would have been a different case. But here we are, they haven't done the needful. So as long as they haven't done the needful, so how is the executive going to do what they ought to do? So again, let me take a question here. As I have a question from Victor Njenje, or rather a comment. He said, please, how long will it take before this takes place? This governance. Honestly, I think, Victor, I think they are now beginning to take us for a ride, because it's absolutely nonsense what is now happening. Okay, so on that note, I will say just a quick update from me that the Enugu International Airport is on course. The Southeastern Governors, or rather the Southeast Regional Security Outfit, again, it's stories, but what we have to now do is that you watching me now, we have to change our tactics now. You have to join me in this journey to demand accountability. We have to go back and demand that things are done right, that they have to do these things, not only just mouthing it. Okay? And in the same meeting yesterday, there is something here. Many of you might not like this, but there is something that happened again. One of the things that they discussed yesterday in the meeting. One of the things that is discussed yesterday in the meeting was, one of the things that they discussed was, hold on, sorry. Okay. One of the things they discussed yesterday was the rift between a former secretary to the state, to the federal government, that is Senator Pius Anyim, and Ato Eze. You know, if you've been reading the papers in the last couple of days, you will see where Ato Eze has, been saying that Pius Anyim was a catastrophic failure. And Pius Anyim replied him saying that Ato Eze should mind himself before he says something that he wouldn't like. Then you ask yourself, what is the issue here? I was listening to the Commissioner of Information of Anambra State a couple of days back as he was interviewed on Hot Seat on Elumba TV. And he said something very instructive. He said that Ato Eze should be mindful, because rather than engage in such war with Anyim, he should emulate people like Innocent. And for the first time, actually, it struck me, because he said that Ato Eze, yes, he's a billionaire, but he has no business, known business in the Southeast. Yet he wants to control the Southeast. And I thought about it. I know what Ibeto does. I know what, you know what I'm doing. I know what, Kostaris does. I know what Innocent does. And you can touch, you can feel their, their various fields. But what does Ato Eze do? The same Ato Eze, remember, when Goodluck was campaigning, in 2011. He sat with Aters and he sat with Obi of Onitsha. And when Goodluck said that if he doesn't fix the second Niger bridge by 2014, he will go on exile. He said he will go on exile. So let me see if I can find that. I will go on exile. Good luck. Good luck, Jonathan. Let me see if I can find that. So what am I saying? Why am I bringing Ateze here? Ateze was in that meeting with Obi of Onitsha, okay, and he said it. If he doesn't finish that project, he will go on exile. Then you ask yourself, did anybody force him to say that? No. Did anybody, ask him to say that? No. The question thereof is, Ateze was one of those prompting him, one of those praising him. Even in 2015, Ateze was with Jonathan. But the moment Buhari won, Ateze switched over. Now, the Southeastern governors are advising them because in their communique, it reads, let me quote them. Dave Umahi stated that the meeting also waded in the rift between a former secretary to the government of the Federation Senator, Anyim Pius Anyim, and billionaire businessman Prince Ateze. The two leaders of the region have engaged in recriminations over unresolved disagreements dating back to the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. What is the rift? The rift is Ateze, according to Anyim, that Ateze, the moment he was made secretary to the secretary to the federal government, Ateze brought in someone with a contract paper saying he should help the person get the contract. And Anyim said, well, I am new in this position. I haven't learned how this office functions. You should exercise some patience. And Ateze left in anger. And, obviously, eventually, according to Anyim, he got that job anyway. Now, Ateze goes on and, now in what we now read in the papers, goes on and calls Anyim, Pius Anyim, all sorts of names. Okay, so be blessed. Is it blessed be Joe? Yes, this is live stream. This is not, well, this is still streaming. Okay, so now you've got your answer. So what am I saying in essence is, when you now look at these people, you see why we are not progressing, because we have people only interested in what they get, only interested in what they get. We have seen the communal crisis between Abba, where Chimanda Adichie comes from, and Ubo. So land dispute. Many of you just saw the police headquarters moved to Ubo, actually on a border, on a dispute land. Now they built it the Southeast Regional or whatever. I think it was previously in Abia. I don't know, but it's interesting to find out that he was able to maneuver his way and get the regional police headquarters moved in his own hometown. And incidentally, that police, was sited in a land where you have dispute with another community. Apart from the usual cash that he doles out here and there, I do not know, like the Commissioner of Information in Anambra State says, do not know where Ateze has any factory. Therefore, I will lend my voice in saying this conflict between the two individuals of Igbo origin is unnecessary. What we should be thinking at this moment is, how and what are we going to do to better our lots? Nigeria has not worked. Nigeria is not working. And if it's not working, how are we going to come together and begin to demand a reversal and to go back to the Aburi Accord of 1967 that can give us that autonomy that we want? Again, that's what I believe in. Having said that, again, these two young men, men, you have to, come to terms and resolve your issues. And in conclusion, their communique said the meeting, according to Mahi, directed Ohaneze Igbo National President Chief John Njenje to interface with the two leaders with a view of to amicably resolving the rift. There are things you might not resolve because the issue is that Ateze is not happy because Pius Anyim didn't bend the rules for him. Therefore, he felt like he didn't get what he wanted. Okay, so again, I've said it before. I will share this with us because I remember some of you some of you been saying that when I mentioned that Jonathan said this, that it is not correct. I will share this with us to actually prove that Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, I mean, in fairness to him, he started it, but again, kudos equally to Buhari for doing the needful. So let us look at this here. Let me see if you can see my screen here. Okay. So here you can see, this is from my good friend, who has the website News Express. You see, I will go on exile if I don't build second Niger bridge, President Jonathan. And that keeps saying, Jonathan has promised to go on exile if he fails to build the second Niger bridge before completing his term in 2015. Question is, did Jonathan build the second Niger bridge? Yes, he started it. There is no doubt. I mean, don't get me wrong, he started it. But it's not enough to start it because we had what it takes. Then we had everything going for us that he could have done it. So that is, reason why I'm bringing this up is, in as much as I do not like the way the current leadership of the Southeastern Governors Forum is praising the president on doing the needful, I must at the same time remind us that even when one who picked the name Azikiwe and at the same time, picked the name Ebelechukwu, but he had the same head tie like one of us, but still he was unable to do it. Therefore, we can all the time, we can at some stage give kudos to whoever does it. So the second major bridge is the only project that we have now in Nigeria actually where you have a live feed. But I think the last time I checked, the live feed doesn't work. But hear this and read this at this meeting here. It says, the issue of second Niger bridge naturally came up during the town hall meeting. That's when it came up. Since Jonathan had his campaign for the 2011 presidential ballots, promised to construct the bridge if elected president. Experts had warned that the existing bridge constructed in 1965, that is before the first coup in '66 may collapse anytime in view of the heavy traffic. Speaking yesterday at the town hall meeting, the Nigerian leader said when the first bridge was built, it was during the presidency of Nnamdi Azikiwe. The second Niger bridge will be built under the presidency of the politicians. Hey, under the presidency of Azikiwe Jonathan. To further reassure the people, the president said, again, not me, that he will go on exile on the completion of his term if he does not build the bridge. Now let's look. That was published. Can you see the date? Okay. So it's obviously not something that we've made up. So people, it's one of those things. And in conclusion, before I go here, let me show us something more. Let me look at Anyim. No, sorry, Pious Anyim. Because the thing is, honestly, it's when you read some of the content, it's actually a little bit disheartening that leaders could be arguing in that manner. Let me see if I can get the letter he wrote. Okay, this is what he said. Let me read what Ato actually said first. So join me. So this is what Ateze said. Ateze said to Pious Anyim, "You are the worst Senate president in Nigerian history." Ateze blasts Anyim. Now, the Anambra-born business mogul, it remains to be seen. Prince Ateze has lambasted former Senate president and secretary to the government of the federal government, SGF, Chief Anyim, and accused him of being a contract chaser, saying you are the worst Senate. Now, let me go back. And let's look at this. What we now did. Anyim, 3 days ago, fired back. And this is what Anyim said. So Anyim now basically wrote him back, says he lacks honor and decorum. Former secretary to the government of the Federation, Pious Anyim, has lashed out as the businessman Oteze for calling him a failure in government in an open letter. So the letter now reads here, forget all the jargons. "It is my wish to advise you to please respect yourself and age. Never forget that respect is earned, and that as a prince from extinct Igbo community, you should have more sense of honor. You perched around President Jonathan like a hungry fly while President Jonathan was in office. Now, you shamelessly and dishonorably say derogatory words about President Jonathan. One can only bet that you will do the same to the leadership of the present administration once they are out of power." Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I hope people are seeing this. Yeah, so I don't know what is happening. It appears my camera is frozen. Let me try see if my camera is frozen once more. Hold on. Oh, my camera is frozen. Okay, so At the end of the day, people, this is where we are, and this is what is happening to us. Okay. So now that the Southeastern governors have waded in, let's hope and see and hope and pray that this will be resolved. On that note, for those of you joining me very late, you can go back and rewatch that. As a recap to what I said at the beginning, this broadcast was mainly to update us um, on the Southeast security outfit, which they promised that by the next meeting that they will give us a name. And please, everyone watching me, remind me by the next meeting, if they do not give us a name, if they do not give us a name by next meeting, if they do not give us a name, we will, you know, begin to use some unkind words on them, because it is becoming ridiculously ridiculous that they are not doing what we elected them and what they promised to do. On that note, people, in conclusion here, thank you once more for joining me. What you will have to know is that, as I mentioned at the beginning, the Enugu International Airport is also on course. Work is ongoing. In the last 2 weeks, work has really, really increased in pace. If they had the way they've been working in the last 2 weeks, if they have been doing it, I don't think we would have anything. We would have finished this a long time ago. On that note, I will say thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. I remain Maze Zoke.